how I got my dad cheating on my mom and paid me to shut up. I still replay the walk home in my head like it's a bad movie. I can't skip. I'd gone out for milk because mom asked, "Just run, please. I'm in the middle of this cake," she said, tying a towel around her hair, laughing like everything was fine. It was 8:40 p.m. The streetlights were humming, and the air had that late summer heaviness that makes everything slow. My sneakers slapped the pavement, and I took the shortcut through the alley by the old tailor shop because I was lazy and wanted to be back. I remember thinking about how dumb it was to be mad at errands, how small chores are the boring scaffolding of a life that looks okay. And then I saw the car. You don't have to be great at noticing details to know your dad's car when you've sat in the passenger seat for years. That dent on the right bumper, the sticker on the back window, the way the driver's seat smells like his cologne and sweat after he works. It was parked outside a motel with a flickering sign, the kind with cheap curtains and fluorescent light that doesn't get warm. My heart did that stupid flip-flop you read about. I slowed down like it was dangerous, and maybe I could unsee what my eyes were about to betray me into seeing. He came out of the lobby with a woman, maybe late 20s, red lipstick that caught the light perfume heavy enough to cut through the night, and they were laughing like something private was hilarious. He put his arm across her shoulders like he lived there now. They walked like they'd rehearsed the way they exist beside one another. I hid behind a trash bin, clutching the milk like an emergency, and felt like a thief watching my own life being stolen. I could hear my own breathing, loud and stupid, and every laugh they shared shoved a new kind of acid into my stomach. For years, he'd been the man who taught me how to change a tire, who'd shown up at my school plays, who kissed my mom's forehead at breakfast. The image of him slick with someone else's affection splintered something inside me so fast I could hardly identify what had broken. I wanted to run home and smash his head into the wall. I wanted to wake Mom from her baking trance and shove truth down her throat. I wanted to be a hero. All I did was stand there frozen until they got into the car and drove away the taillights, burning a path that felt like betrayal. I walked home with the milk sloshing and my throat full of a sound I didn't have a name for. By the time I let myself in the house, felt too small, like a matchbox that had been lied to. The hum of the fridge sounded obscene. Mom called out, "You back already?" And I could hear the easy trust in her voice, and it made me want to vomit and whisper everything and keep nothing all at once. Facing him was the stupid, inevitable thing I did the next night, because secrets get heavy, and I'm bad with weight. I waited until the house was quiet, until Mom's bedroom door creaked and closed, until the TV downstairs spat its last football roar. I remember standing in the doorway while he took off his tie, and my mouth felt like a fist. The words came out wrong, blunt and ragged. "I saw you." He looked up like someone had thrown a stone through a window. There was no drama, no shouted denial. He rubbed his temple the way he always does when he's been up too long at work and said almost tiredly, "Jesus." He folded onto the couch like the argument was a piece of furniture and he was too tired to move it. I told him the motel, the woman, the kiss, every stupid detail, the smell of her perfume, the way his laugh had sounded like it belonged somewhere else. He didn't look angry. He looked small like a dog who'd been caught swallowing soap. He asked me not to tell Mom. He used the word family like a shield, like a currency, like something I should respect without seeing its seams. I don't know why I expected an apology or a fight. Maybe I wanted him to be ashamed. Instead, he went to his room and came back with an envelope. That moment, him sliding that fat brown envelope across the coffee table, felt like a crime that needed witnesses. He didn't say, "I'll replace what I took." He said, "Take this. Please don't tell her, please." His voice was the kind that made you want to kick him and hug him and punch a hole through the wall all at once. He counted out bills like he was dealing cards, 50s, 20s, the kind of money I'd never seen folded that deliberately. He tried to rationalize it. It was a stupid thing, everyone makes mistakes. But the words were thin and greasy. When I asked why he could do that to her to us, he shrugged and muttered something about being lonely, about not feeling wanted. The envelope felt heavy and scandalous sitting between us like the proof of an affair and the price of my silence at once. My head was spinning. Anger, nausea, a ridiculous flutter of greed at the sight of cash I didn't earn. I felt like I had to choose between becoming the person who protected my mother's heart and becoming the person who lived off my dad's corruption. He said it again, quieter. "Please don't make this worse." That single phrase wrapped around my chest like rope. If I told her, he said, her whole world could end. If I took the money, I'd be stained. The envelope trembled under my fingers when I picked it up. I didn't think I reacted the way survival teaches you. Make the thing stop. I shoved it into my jacket like a thief and walked upstairs with it, burning a hole through my hoodie. I wish I could say I did something noble in the end. Took the money and burned it, marched to Mom and spat the truth until everything fell apart, and we built a new honest life from the rubble. I didn't. I slid the envelope into my drawer and sat on my bed in the dark until dawn, the house making the same harmless noises it always did. Cooker clicks, a distant car, while my brain made a thunderstorm out of everything. I counted the bills later like a confession without a priest. More than enough to fix the phone Mom had been complaining about, enough to buy new school books, enough to keep my stupid pride quiet for a while. I spent some of it on small things. A pair of shoes. I told myself I needed a little lunch. I pretended was for the week. Every purchase was a click in the lock of my silence. But that night, right after I'd pocketed the envelope and before I let the money wash my life with conveniences, I did something I will never forget. I walked down the hallway where Mom slept, stood over her doorway, and watched her breathe. She was peaceful, face soft in the moonlight, hands folded over the duvet, like she was simply tired from making a cake for no reason at all. My chest hurt enough to make me cry, but I didn't. I stood there with the envelope in my hand, and I thought about what would happen if the truth hit her like a train. I imagined the pieces. Her laugh gone, the lines on her face falling harder, our family dinners turning into evidence rooms. I thought about the way she trusts, how she has always trusted my dad, with the blind stubbornness of someone wearing rose-tinted glasses because it keeps the house warm. I could have left the envelope on the pillow beside her, like tossing a bomb and watching the house burn. I could have folded the bills into an origami confession and slid it under her bedroom door. Instead, I did the most cowardly thing and the most humanly selfish thing I can admit. I put the money back in my drawer and slid the drawer closed. I lay down and pretended to sleep. Listening to her breathing, I made a silent pact with myself that felt like a chokehold. I'd keep the secret, carry the shame. Let the money buy me a few months of quiet and the illusion of choices. I have carried that pocket of weight like an anchor. Some nights I think I hear the bills rustle when the wind moves the trees outside. Tonight, in this crummy little confession to strangers, I'm trying to unload it. I'm saying it out loud because the thing that paid for my silence also bought my guilt, and I don't know how to live with that currency. I kept my mother's peace, my father kept his lies, and I kept the envelope.